Hello, everybody. Today we are live discussing The Lady Rogue by Jenn Bennett, her YA fantasy adventure debut. I guess that's the kind of genre you would call it. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Um, Jenn Bennett has written contemporary before, and this is her first dip into adventure stories in YA, and I'm really excited to discuss this tonight. I still might not have a lot to say, but I'm really excited to discuss it. So how our show works is we are going to do non-spoiler discussion for the first probably 5-ish minutes, and then we are going to go into spoiler discussion. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then you can leave after the initial thoughts that are non-spoiler, or if you don't care, then you can just stick around for however long we're on. Make sure to tweet us at @OneThrough with any questions, or you can leave them in the chat and we'll be able to display them on the little bottom part here and answer them. So would you like to start, Kat?
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Catherine. My channel is called For the Love of Books. This was my first Jenn Bennett book. I do read a lot of contemporary, so when Chloe suggested this book and I read like the synopsis, it sounded really, really cool and really interesting. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and do that. I'm currently going through a reading slump, a really, really bad reading slump. So this was like the first book I've read in over a month, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. It was like the first book that I read that kind of had, it wasn't necessarily a Vlad the Impaler retelling, but it had elements. Basically, our main character, they're trying to find the ring that belonged to Vlad the Impaler, and it was really, really cool. Some people described it as having like elements from The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and I kind of see that in terms of the traveling. Because they travel all over what is it Eastern Europe or something like that. Some parts of Europe they travel a lot, and if you read The Gentleman's Guide, they do that as well. But besides that, I actually didn't see a lot of comparison to The Gentleman's Guide. So a lot of people comparing to Gentleman's Guide, I didn't see that beyond the actual traveling aspect of it. I really enjoyed it. I actually finished this book today, and I gave it 4 stars. We really liked it. I did also like Army, like the relationship, like the love interest. I thought he was really cool, and I wish there was more of a family dynamic to it because her dad was sort of like, he's a jerk, but he's also like, he has good intentions. And so I wish I saw more of that, but a lot of her dad was absent for a lot of the book. But besides that, I really enjoyed it, and I did, as I said, give it 4 stars.
Yeah, I liked that because I listened to the audiobook, and the audiobook does have 2 narrators, one for her and then one for her dad, but the dad is only used in journal entries, and I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, but I liked it because I liked the narrator that they had for her. She was really good. So I have read all of Jenn Bennett's YA contemporaries, so I wasn't sure how this was going to be done because I've only read her contemporaries. She does write adult as well, but I haven't read any of them. And I ended up really enjoying this because this is a genre that I don't normally go to first, but I really enjoyed it. I think like you said earlier, I wouldn't necessarily call it like a direct retelling. Well, no, well, it's not a retelling, but it has like elements, I guess. But it was really good, and I finished it in like 3 days. Like I just flew through it. I loved it so much. Like I said, I highly recommend the audiobook. I think the narrator is really good for this character. And you know, you were saying that it has elements from Gentleman's Guide, and I honestly didn't even think about that while I was reading it, but now that I think back on it, yeah, the traveling aspect reminds me a lot of Gentleman's Guide and those 2 books. But I highly recommend this book. I think it's good. I think it's a good adventure book for people that don't necessarily pick up that kind of genre. It's definitely not what I would go to first. But I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So now we are going to go into spoilers for this book. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then now is the time to click away. And if you don't care, then hello. um, so what should we discuss first? There was just so much that went on in this book.
A lot of
I mean, like right off in the beginning, like her Turkish babysitter just up and leaves with all the money. Like,
I mean, granted, it was bad for her to abandon her, but I would have done the same. Like this girl, like in the
with all the
beginning,
money.
she acted like a total brat. And what did she do? She was like, she gets arrested or something, and then she
got arrested for taking a picture. I think.
Oh, I don't remember. It was something, but she acted like her babysitter, her tutor, whatever it was. She had to like rescue her, and I'm like, you're a grown-ass woman, like don't get yourself in trouble. That's all you have to do. Like there's no need for you to have your tutor come rescue you. But what was her main character's name again? Theo. I liked her. I thought she was fun, and a lot of what she's saying, like how her dad like leaves her behind while he goes on these grand adventures. Like he leaves her with tutors and leaves her, like abandons her at the hotel rooms. I really like that because I can understand her frustration. She's from New York and she's visiting these beautiful countries, and like you're in Europe. Why you shouldn't be
like stuck in hotel rooms?
Yeah, you shouldn't be stuck in the hotel room. You should be with her dad having these grand adventures. And like I get her dad's point of view too, but like I would if I was in her place, I would be totally mad too.
And I feel like because this book is set in the 1930s, I
Mhm.
feel like it had an even like older vibe to it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I was thinking like, Gentleman's Guide time period. And I can't remember what is the girl's name, the main girl's name from Ladies Guide. I can't remember her name. Well, whatever her name is.
I can't.
You have it easily
Felicity.
accessible. Felicity. So I feel like Felicity and Theo have very similar vibes too.
Yeah.
Like, Theo really wants adventure with her dad, and Felicity wants, if spoilers for Ladies Guide, Felicity wants to be a doctor.
But
But yeah,
basically, it's the same thing. They kind of want to be. They don't want to be treated like ladies. That
exactly.
they want more out of life, and I kind of I enjoy that aspect of them. And they're both very they want beyond what society has to offer them in their time frame.
And this book also has I would call it a magical realism aspect to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't like, it's kind of like you said, I wasn't sure what the genre of this book is. It's like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's fantasy, but it is, it has like,
yeah.
it's like you said, it's an adventure book, but it has a lot of whimsical elements. There's like curses and like witches and magic and black magic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on. And usually we see a lot of these whimsical elements towards the end of the book, but
I'm going to check what Goodreads calls it. And conveniently, your update that you finished is right there, so I can just click on it. Let's see. Goodreads calls it YA, historical / historical fiction. Fantasy is the biggest shelf for it, but I don't think it's a fantasy. I think it's more of, I get the historical, but I feel like it's more of a magical realism. But yeah, fantasy, historical fiction, YA, historical, romance. There's so many random like people have it on currently reading or 2019. Like, I just need a genre.
yeah.
I mean, I would say like historical, magical realism, something like that.
Yeah.
And we have 2 viewers. Is one of them you? Because it's not me today.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 1 viewer. It's probably Will. Remember to leave any comments, questions in the chat, or tweet us at Once Read Along so we can continue this conversation. So the magical realism vibes. There's like there's the ring because they're hunting for Vlad the Impaler's ring that has like the dragon magic or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And then I was the thing that like the first little like tidbit that we get of magical realism in this is that bill note that the bad guy gave her.
Yeah, I
And
had tracking the
yeah, and it had tracking on it, like witchcraft.
But I think it's like it's funny that this random creepy dude hands you a bill. It's not even money. She knows it's not money, and she keeps it. If it was like me, I'd be like, I'm chucking this away. Like, what is this? It could be like forgery, and he could get me in trouble. Yeah. I would throw it away. The fact that she kept it, and I just don't understand. You know, the fact that she was really creeped out by him. She knew she had bad vibes, and she still kept the weird note that he made her take because she originally told him it wasn't hers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have like set off red alarms, you know, in my head. I'm like, I'm not taking this. I don't want it.
I mean, to give her the slight benefit of the doubt, like her babysitter just up and left with all the money. She's confused because somebody's in her room that says she's her brother, but she doesn't have a brother. Like, I'd just be ready to be done at that point. And while this was, well, you know, I feel like with the fantasy adventure, whatever you want to call this, there's always like so many characters. Like in the book I'm reading right now, there's just so many characters. But with this, I feel like it was kept simple, which I really, really liked. I mean, a lot of people died too. Not a lot, but like
I feel like there were characters introduced, but they were minor characters. But the way the story told is that the author she wrote them in a way where we knew who we were talking to, like we knew who it was.
Yeah.
For example, the hotel people. Like I know they have names, even though I can't remember them right now. But when they were talking to them,
Yeah,
who they were. And then like John Bernard, like her dad's friend,
mm-hmm.
the lady that I don't remember, and then the creepy twins.
I liked the twins, and I liked I'm trying to find the lady's name too. I liked her too.
Yeah.
I always want to call the main male character Puck, but it's Huck.
It's what?
Huck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I want to call him Puck though.
The first time I like read his name, for some reason I thought of like Huckleberry Finn, like the book. So now I'll never forget it. Huck. Yeah.
Did you do the ebook or the audiobook?
I did both. So I got the ebook through the library, as I told you, and then but the audiobook was through Scribd, so I just listened to it.
Yeah. She did really well with the voices.
I did like when she did Huck's voice, I was like, this is so good. Like, you're a really good narrator.
She does, because on Scribd you can like click on the narrator's voice and to like find out what else she's done. And I was like looking to see what else she's done, see if there's anything else I would have liked to read. I did the same thing for Evelyn Hugo though. But I feel like she did something that it was a book I'd read that I didn't like. It might have been like, I wanted to say it was like like one of the Victoria Aveyard books or something like that. Now I want to know because I can't remember. Huh?
Will wrote in the chat.
Why can't I see the chat? I should be able to see the chat over here.
It's on YouTube.
I know, it's supposed to pull him up on here too.
Oh, really?
What did he say?
Stromboli?
I didn't want him to do that. We have a joke. We have a joke going right before I left his house. We're trying to figure out what Stromboli is.
Where did you hear it?
Where did I hear that?
Yeah.
From him.
Oh, he's trying to get you to figure out what Stromboli is.
Well, he doesn't know what it is either. He thinks it's some sort of like Italian noodle. I don't know. Oh, there, now it popped up. Stromboli. Thanks, man. Thanks. Jesse Valinsky narrated this. She did something. She'd always never yours.
It's on. You could just Google it. It's like some kind of food thing.
It's like it looks like a calzone, but it's not a calzone. And then there's also
There's as soon as I Googled it, it says what is the difference between a calzone and a stromboli, whatever it's called.
Exactly. And then when I asked Siri, Siri told me that a stromboli was a small island off the coast of Sicily. Which makes sense because it's Italy.
Well, anyway, back to the book. What were you looking for?
It doesn't matter now.
Oh,
so the brothers, the twins were the Zissou brothers, which I like them. I'm trying to find the name of the woman now. What I was looking at was I was looking to see what other audiobooks that that woman narrated. I remember the woman. She's kind of like I don't want to call her a witch, but I don't know. I liked her. I liked her a lot.
I don't know. I the witch, so I call her the witch.
Yeah, I can't find her name.
Hold on.
Is it Mahai? There's a name Mahai in here, but I don't know if that's right. I know they visited her first. Mama Lavena. That's it. I love her.
She was creepy. But
at first she was creepy, and then I was like, I like this lady. She's nice. I like that she called Theo Little Empress too.
Yeah. What did you think of Huck, like as a character?
I liked him. And I mean, going more into the story, I guess, because that's the only way I can explain it, is I understood why he didn't have a choice to leave. Like, I understood that. But, like, at the same time, it's like, why couldn't you fight for her? And then I also thought he was really funny. Like, especially when it came to flying the stolen plane.
Yeah, initially, I'm not even gonna lie. Initially, I did not like him. He came off as too strong, and like I feel like he forced his way into her life again. And she was like, "But you left me, and you broke my heart." Blah blah blah. He made her cry again, and I was like, "I don't like you." But eventually, he like grew on me. Like you said, he is funny. He like makes these jokes, and like when he flew like I just like by the middle of the book, I really liked his character. But initially, I didn't like him at all.
Yeah, I thought he was really funny though. I liked that. So now that you've read this, granted this genre of book is something more you would read. I know you have Alex Approximately, so are you going to read that now?
Maybe. I mean, like I said, I'm in the middle of this book slump, so I don't even feel like reading the books that I normally read.
Girl, we're supposed to buddy read Girls of Storm and Shadow this month.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about it.
I know.
Can I just say that whenever I know you will, I call you Kat. Like I've called you Kat since the day I met you. But in your videos you call yourself Kathleen.
Right.
So in my videos, whenever I mention you, I try to say Kathleen. And it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me.
I feel like people should know already.
You're Kathleen, you're Kat. You're just Kat.
So what did you think of like the whole curse part of the book towards the end? Honestly, the whole curse kind of confused me a little, but then like in the end it all made sense.
I agree. It was also kind of confusing. I when she put the ring on and she tethered herself to the dragon, I was worried like, oh no, is this going to change her? But then, because she's the type of character that she is, she just, lobbed her pinky off or whatever finger it was.
One question. Did the ring get lost? Like, did the pinky with the ring get lost? Because when she hacked it off and she was trying to get out from the smoke and her dad rescued her, there was never any mention of what happened in the ring. Like, did she leave it behind when she was trying to, like, run away from the smoke in the fire?
I can't remember.
There was like mention that she was like, oh, at the hospital they said that if we had saved the pinky, they could have, sewed it back on. And she was like, which I knew that, and I'm like, I took that to assume that she just left the finger with the ring behind. And I'm just like, is that a good idea? Because somebody else can find it. But
let's see, that's the part where she takes off her pinky. don't remember. I'm not sure. There's the smoke. Trying to find her dad. I guess so. Wait, so she did or she didn't have the pinky with her?
She didn't.
So they didn't put it back on her hand. I'm guessing
No.
so.
No, because I remember that specific line where they said that the hospital had told them that if they had saved the pinky, they could have sewed it back on. And she was like, well, I knew that. And
yeah, because it seems to go from, her getting out of the smoke to immediately them, like, moving on with their life.
And that was the one part I left me confused. I was like, this ring is like cursed and super powerful, and it's together now. It's not like they're separated into their 3 bands. Yeah. So I'm like, are you not worried that someone's gonna dig through all that rubble that was left behind and find the finger with the 3 rings and cause it again?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe maybe you think that would leave it open for a sequel?
I was wondering, I was wondering if you knew whether this was supposed to be
I mean, the only thing I know, I'm going to go back to Goodreads. The only thing I know that she has coming out anytime soon is her next contemporary book. I haven't heard anything about.
Does she write sequels, or are her books mostly standalones?
All her contemporaries are standalones. I don't know about her adult books. Let's see what Goodreads says. She might have on her. It's possible on her like list of books that she's written. There could be something that's untitled that could be something new. I don't know, but I feel like there could be another adventure, or maybe this is just a plot hole that we won't ever know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I feel like because she left it open, it might, like, if she ever decides to continue writing, she should, because she did leave that one detail just open.
I kind of want to tweet her now and ask. Yo, so she lost her pinky. Where's the ring? We really want to know.
Okay, the bad guy, Rothwild. I almost called him Rothschild. Rothwild. It says he died because he fell in the water. Remember that one part?
Yeah.
Does that mean he died? Like, people can survive just, falling in the water. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that he drowned and died, but so that's like something else that wasn't confirmed. Like, did he actually die? Are we gonna get
maybe
where he found the pinky?
I'm totally gonna tweet her now. I'm gonna tweet her from the Once Read Along account to be like, our hosts have a question. What?
Just ask her. Is there a sequel coming? Are you planning a sequel for this?
I'm gonna ask her. Let's see. All right, let's tweet. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think it's been a couple of years. I don't know if you were a host at the time, but I'm pretty sure I tweeted an author at one point, like from this account, wanting to know something about a book, but I can't remember what it was. But I feel like I've done this before.
And did they respond?
I can't remember. Let's see.
Yeah, that was just like when I was reading it, that was the one part that left me like confused. I was like, just because he like fell in the water or whatever it was, doesn't mean that he necessarily died.
Yeah. Let's see. Jenn. All right, let's see. Oh, all right, I'm tweeting it. I guess we'll find out eventually if she responds. I just really like this book. I read 2 really good books in a row, and now I can't find a good book. So this is one of my really good books. I like this one. I saw that you gave it 4 stars. I know you had texted me saying you weren't really into it. Like,
yeah, it was the beginning where they were traveling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
especially like when they were running away from the wolf and they got on the train, and I was like, is this whole book gonna be about them running away from this dude with the creepy white wolf? Because
Yes.
like I need more. And then like they got off the train and they found these vagabond people, and then so many other things happened.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. Where she got drunk?
Oh yeah,
I completely forgot about
I
that.
was like, no, like when I was, because as I said, I was reading, listening to the audiobook while reading. I was getting such secondhand embarrassment. I was like, can you please stop talking? Like, go away, go to bed and sleep. Like, she was so dramatic, and I was like, when I get drunk, I get tired.
I
And like, I
totally
don't,
forgot about that.
and I was just like, oh my gosh, this girl, I can't even deal with her.
Oh, I thought she had answered because I had 2 notifications, but it was you retweeting it. I was like, wow, that was so fast. I should go retweet it then.
But yeah, that was no, I like that whole scene. It was funny.
It was like, I was kind of worried because I didn't know what to expect because I think her adult series is like fantasy or something like that, and since I've never read that, I don't know. So I was kind of worried with this book, but I'm like, I like it a lot.
Yeah, so yeah, once we got out of the train, and they met up with those people, the book got a whole lot more interesting. So
Yeah. I'm getting notifications, and I'm like, she responded, but no, it was me just retweeting it. Yeah, I kind of hope there is a sequel now, or maybe she'll have the chance to do more with yeah, like with this genre. And I don't know if you saw you said you had the ebook on in the acknowledgments. Literally, the first thing she said was originally it was set in China and Siberia, and there were monsters too.
oh really?
Yeah, neither do I, but I just saw it in the first line. And I was like, oh wow.
Maybe what she can do, she can write like companion series. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
right, the sequel would be like something else to do with another famous historical figure with curses and monsters. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, I like it. I feel like maybe instead of like, because I know there's a plot hole with what happened to her pinky, what happened to the ring. Maybe like show like you said, like a companion series or like a sequel where they're on a different adventure.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for something different from like Vlad the Impaler was supposed to be Dracula, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna look for something that was Frankenstein. I don't know. just picking stuff here.
I feel like because she chose to go like the historical fiction route, there's so much to explore. Like Vlad the Impaler, like you said, maybe Frankenstein,
Yeah.
I don't know. But there's so much to explore, and I feel like it'll be a good idea for her to do it.
This is really random, but this cover is really, really gorgeous. But I feel like they're going to do a cover change. If there was a sequel, I bet they would do a cover change.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just getting that vibe. I don't know why.
Why? It's a good cover.
I know, but there's plenty of other good covers that they still cover change anyway.
I know. Publishers can't do. Like change the covers with the ugly covers, not the pretty.
Like I just saw The Surface Breaks by Louise something O'Neill had a gorgeous cover when it came out like last year or the year before, and it came out in hardcover. Well, they re-released it with a new cover, and I thought that was just a paperback cover. They re-released it in hardcover again, and I'm very confused. The Surface Breaks. I'm pretty sure that was what it was called.
Yeah.
Which cover are you seeing?
I'm just on like Google Images, and it's showing me this lady with red hair, and she has a bunch of things on her hair.
Yeah,
that was a pretty cover.
Gorgeous cover.
And then there's another cover that I see that has blue scales on it.
Blue scales? What?
That one's pretty too.
This one? Hold on. This one?
No.
This is the new one. This is the one they re-released.
Oh, that one's ugly.
Hold on, I've got to find the blue scales one. Oh, ooh, I haven't seen this one.
Right? Is it pretty? That was pretty.
It's under a different name too. Oh, it's a foreign one, a foreign edition. But yeah, this is pretty too. I like that. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's a Little Mermaid retelling?
yeah, I kind of want to read it. But like, I just want to know why they re-released it.
Okay, that's a horrible cover.
That's the one that's in like I've seen it in Books a Million.
So that's the paperback, or that's just like they redid the hardcover?
They redid the hardcover.
So we can't find a pretty cover anymore?
I don't know.
Well, that sucks.
Like, why is it in? I have to look more into this. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we had. I mean, it's only been a half hour, but I feel like we've had good discussion about this book.
Yeah.
Much more detailed discussion than we normally do. Um. So yeah. I gave it 5 stars. I liked it. I recommend it. And like for somebody who doesn't really pick up this type of genre often, I think it's a good like starter story. Or if you're looking for something similar to A Gentleman's Guide.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing that I thought was similar in terms of The Gentleman's Guide was the fact that they do travel a lot. They travel through like the Eastern Europe, and I think The Gentleman's Guide, they went through the more traditional touristy route. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It was fun. I would have to say, like the beginning took me a little while to get into, but I think you should really, if you're reading this book and you're finding yourself kind of like bored in the beginning, I would keep going because after they get on the train, like if you're reading and they get on the train, it really gets a lot more interesting after that because there's the drunk scene, there's the airplane crash, there's the kidnapping and the curse and everything, and Pinky's being hacked off. It's a lot of fun. So
there's just a lot. It's a lot, but it's like in a good way.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So for October, we have decided that we're going to do a little bit of a throwback. And we are going to be reading Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. There's just no good releases that we want to read. I don't know about you, but there's nothing I was interested in reading.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. So we're gonna be reading Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. This is the only Emma Mills book that's released that I have not read. And I like her other books. They're cute. They're cute contemporaries if you're looking for that. And I remember the last Emma Mills book I read was on one of our retreats, like the one in March. And like it had my kind of humor in it. Like the dad jokes were real.
Oh yeah, I remember about that. Is it like part of contemporaries that she writes?
Yeah.
Or is it more like of the heart wrenching, very sad, very powerful, emotional kind of contemporary? Okay.
No, I think they're light. I mean, they might have like an emotional moment, but it's not like the whole book is emotional.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then our live show is tentatively scheduled for Sunday, October 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I feel like I have something on the 20th. I do have something on the 26th, Halloween party. I was like, what do I have? And I can't remember. We're tentatively scheduled for Sunday, October 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. So yeah, if you like lighthearted contemporaries, definitely come join us for that.
Yeah.
And we got anything else? I don't think I got anything else.
No, that's it.
All right. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to check out Kathleen at For the Love of Books. Make sure to check out myself at Brunette Bibliophile. And we will see you guys in a month to discuss Foolish Hearts. Bye. Hold on, I should hold up Lady Rogue first. Bye.